So I did my project, my service learning project on Make-A-Wish here at the local branch in Lancaster. A little history. This foundation is a nonprofit organization that grants wishes to children with life-threatening medical conditions. They started granting wishes in 1980. And a fun fact I found based on the data collected from 2016, more than 280,000 wishes have been granted in about 36 different countries. So that's pretty impressive. The Make-A-Wish branch in Lancaster County actually organizes an annual Mother's Day truck convoy. So I used that day to meet my service learning hours, participating to raise money for our local wish children here. A fun fact, this is the very first wish child. He had a wish to be a cop. So a local police officer kind of rallied the community. They provided a police car, really made this boy feel like a cop for a day. Um, so yeah, that's the first wish child, how this organization got started. Why did I choose this agency? I really wanted to interact with our local wish children and their families. I wanted to see firsthand that restoration of hope, not just reading about it or hearing about it. I wanted to learn how to organize large community events. I wanted to have a direct impact on our local wish children, and I wanted to be involved in something greater than myself with the hopes of being a better member of society, but even more importantly, a better nurse. The population that's served, children from anywhere from 2.5 to 17 are eligible as long as they have a life-threatening medical condition, and then they need a referral, so parents and medical professionals can refer them. And then their treating physician just needs to prove their eligibility, saying that their condition that they're in is life-threatening. Some of the needs of this population, they have a lack of hope. You're in and out of the hospital. Things are always bad. You're always sick. You're not going to have a lot of hope, which then you don't have really much a will to live. If we can restore that, we have a chance of improving outcomes. Obviously, there would be a financial burden for the families, the equipment, the in and out of the hospital. A sick child is not cheap. There's emotional distress, not just for the child, but the parent, the siblings, anyone in this child support. There's going to be emotional distress, anxiety, depression, and then, of course, caregiver stress. If the caregiver is overwhelmed and stressed, they're not going to provide adequate care. So we need to pay attention to all those needs of this population. Um, as a professional in the healthcare field, I can influence the political, economic, social, and cultural issues faced by this population. I continue my education to be able to be knowledgeable enough to provide thorough and detailed education to these families. They're going to need a ton of education of how to care for these children. There's strange equipment. There's lots to learn about how to care for a child, when to come in, what's actually going, the disease process their child's facing. Being aware of and providing community resources for these caregivers, I need to be able to do as a professional. Um, where can they go to support groups? Where can they access the resources they need to get the equipment or take care of their child? And then promoting and ensuring interdisciplinary team involvement, such as case management. They can help with the community resources, they can help with financial resources, connecting them to things in our community. I can help raise money to support the financial burden they're faced with. And I can vote and lobby and advocate for safe staffing and safe ratios so their children are safe when they're coming into our healthcare facilities. I can advocate for healthcare for all so these children are not excluded because they have these healthcare issues. How was this project designed that I participated in? So, all year long, there's truck drivers all along their route. They get different companies to donate money, and then they basically compete with each other. Whoever can raise the most money, you get a number. So, if you raise the most, you get number one on your truck, and so on and so forth. So, they get ranked and they compete with each other. There's about 5,000 people that come to the carnival, which the carnival occurs before the truck parade, and then about 25,000 people actually line up along the highway and watch these trucks and these wish children in these trucks. And then there's clowns that come along and they collect money from the people on the sidelines to also help raise money. So the truck parade is about a 26-mile journey. The wish children get in. They're allowed to honk the horns and they just have a grand old time on this long parade that everyone comes out to see them. But before that, we have a carnival where we hold a raffle. There's all types of costume characters. There's live music. There's games for the children. There's food. There's food trucks come out. There's a live auction. There's all kinds of activities at the carnival to actually raise money. Implementation of the plan. So to reach our goal and have this day, we had monthly meetings to help coordinate the food, get supply donations because we didn't want to spend our raised money on supplies. So we would go to local food stores and ask them to donate food to us, and um, a store that sells tents, we would ask them to donate tents for the day. So we went and got all of our supplies donated so all of our money could go directly to granting wishes. And then we needed a plan for how we're going to set up, where the truck's going to park, where's the food going to go, where's the games going to go, and then how are we cleaning this up. And then my specific role, I helped with the raffle. So I walked around and I tried to get people to buy raffle tickets. There was a truck inspired, which had like walkie talkies, tools, and then there was a mom inspired for like a redo of her kitchen, a new stove, new fridge, and you try and get people to buy them. Your name goes in with the ticket, and at the end we pull a name and then we call you and say, hey, you won, and you win either one of those things. So it's my job to go around and get people to buy those raffle tickets. How could we improve this in the future for future students? It rained. I did this 2 years in a row and it rained so bad and it greatly affected how many people came. I know it'd be really difficult to choose a rain date, but if we could choose like a rain location where the games could be held inside so we get a better turnout. I would like more background information from the foundation. I got a lot of the background information from my own research. We didn't really talk much about that at the meetings or when I met with the local branch lead. And then improvements for the actual part I played, the raffle tickets was new the last 2 years, so it wasn't well organized. We didn't have great supplies to hold the money, the tickets. I feel like there could be a better method and we would make more money if we reorganized that. My objectives: by the end of the service learning project, the student will be able to identify 3 criteria for eligibility to make a wish. So make a wish kid or family. By the end of the service learning project, the student will be able to list 4 roles it requires to organize a community event. And lastly, by the end of the service learning project, the student will be able to list 3 ways the Make-A-Wish Foundation fundraises money to grant wishes. So the first objective, 3 things that make a child eligible. You have to meet the age requirement, which we talked about, between 2.5 and 17. You have to be referred by your doctor, another child, a parent, or a family member. And then that diagnosis or disease is actually life-threatening. And that is defined by the Make-A-Wish Foundation as either being progressive, degenerative, or malignant. And like I said, the treating physician is who proves this eligibility. If you want more information, you can follow this link listed. And then how is a large community event organized? So we had a single head leader, and he had multiple small groups that were in charge of a specific task. So there was a group in charge of games, what games would be played. There was a group in charge of the trucks, where would the trucks park? What free food could we offer them? What giveaways could we give? There was a group that managed volunteers. Do we have enough? What specific roles are the volunteers going to play? Someone was in charge of advertising and putting it on Facebook and getting it in the newspaper and hanging the banner so the community knew when the event was. Someone had to manage food, what food trucks would be there, what food would be sold, what food would be given for free. Someone was in charge of what prizes would be given. Someone was in charge of the donations we got and handling the money. And then fundraising, of course. So most of the wishes that are granted in the Philadelphia, Delaware, Susquehanna Valley area, um, we grant our wishes based on this Mother's Day truck convoy, but there's other ways to raise money. You could get a bucket for your workplace if you've ever seen them at the Burger King or a gas station. You know, you can collect money at your workplace. There's college students who raise money for make granting wishes. There's Kids for Wish Kids. There's kids who raise money for the foundation, and of course, you can donate online. What impact on this population did I have? So the funds we raised grant wishes of the qualifying children. And at this event, it gives children and families the opportunity to meet other wish children, other families, not feel so alone, connect with people in your community, hear other people's stories, meet other children not so different from you. Obviously shows communal support. Everyone comes out there supporting, granting wishes for future children or the children who are there and waiting for a wish to be granted. You know, they're giving their money, doing the auction, playing the games, all to support this community. And then a day to forget and feel in control. So they can forget that they're sick and they can feel in control of their day. They want to play this game. They want to get in the truck and honk the horn. They have a sense of control over something in their life. How did this impact me professionally? I got a new perspective on caregiver stress and thinking about how a parent, the stress they must undergo when they're taking care of a sick child, a heightened awareness of the available community resources here locally, a deeper understanding of the significance of hope, awareness of the effects of chronic illness has on a person as a whole. And personally, I got a sense of satisfaction from giving back to my community. I got insight into the organization of large events, and it was very rewarding to contribute to granting wishes of local children. And I got a new appreciation and enhancement for teamwork skills because you really can't pull together a large community event like this without a huge amount of teamwork. And then I gathered most of the information from the Make a Wish website. Thank you for watching my presentation.